Hi everybody, another wee video on the Divine Will. So, I've already spoke about how do we fuse ourselves in God's will. I've already done that, and by now if you've been watching these videos, you will know how we fuse ourselves in God's will. You will also know the abandonment prayer / prevenient act, which has already been done. So in this video I want to talk about night and day of the soul. In our journey in the Divine Will, you will go through night of the soul and day of the soul. Night of the soul is a privation of Jesus. He has not left us, he is always there within us, but in night of the soul he is resting within us, so we no longer feel his presence the way we did before. However, this is a very good thing, because night of the soul is there to give us spiritual growth. So Jesus sees you are ready to take this, and he allows it, he permits it for our spiritual growth. It's like it's just night brings darkness, day brings light. The most important thing when we are going through night of the soul is to keep doing everything that we have already learned, and it shows that we are committed to Jesus, we are persevering for him. We may even be taking some of his sorrow for him, because there is no physical pain or anything like that in heaven. However, unfortunately, until time comes to completion, there is sorrow for the people that don't want to go with Jesus, sorrow for the atrocity of the sins that people are committing, and because Jesus lives within every single person and he sees them doing these terrible things, he has sorrow. That's why he wants what's best for us. Anyway, that was a little side note. So, night of the soul is a privation of Jesus. Like I say, he's always still there. We may feel doubts, fears, anxieties coming into us. We may be thinking, nothing's changed, I'm doing all the things that I've learned, but I don't feel Jesus' presence the way that I felt it before. And that's okay, it's a natural cycle for the purpose of spiritual growth, to grow closer to God. Here's a beautiful part. So, when the night of the soul comes to an end, the day begins, and the sun of God's will starts to rise and rise and rise once again within us, and it becomes full daylight, it becomes warmer, it becomes brighter. We no longer have the privation of Jesus. We feel him fully present within ourselves to the capacity that he allows. And when we get through the night of the soul and go into day of the soul, we feel, like I say, we feel him fully present again, but that connection becomes even stronger and serves for spiritual growth. The main thing that we have to do when we experience night of the soul is do not stop doing anything that we have been doing. Keep doing everything that we've learned up until now. Go through night of the soul until the sun of his will rises once again within us and it becomes day of the soul. It's a natural cycle. Just quickly to finish, if you've stopped doing the things that you learned, that has to be addressed. Start doing them again, the divine will things. If you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, stop doing them. Possibly get forgiveness. But the most important thing going through this is keep doing everything that we have learned up until that point for spiritual growth, a deeper, stronger connection to Jesus in the divine will, and the sun of his will rise once again within us in a much more powerful and stronger way, and these natural cycles will happen over and over because we are becoming closer and closer to God in his divine will. And that's it. That's all that has to be said on that subject at this point in time. Lastly, very quickly, I believe St. John of the Cross also spoke about dark night of the soul. I'm not too familiar with him, and I believe the kind of a context of the message, correct me if I'm wrong please, was that we go through the dark night of the soul to reach enlightenment. Well, look at what I've just told you. Night goes into day, the sun of the divine will rises once again within us. All that has to be said. God bless, have a good night. Fiat.